Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Idahosa family say Enogie for their community carry no more less join body they drag their land from them. So this matter now, they don't carry and can't give Embuoivoba Aigbe. Make I leave you, make you hear from Embuoivoba Aigbe. Make you still get the chance to listen to the callers wey calling. Enjoy the video.
And as you all know, we've been discussing the issue of Pa Solomon Idahosa's unlawful encroachment to land and the obvious position of the Edo State Governor, the obvious position of the palace, the traditional institution of Edo State, on issues relating to unlawful acquisition of land, on issues relating to CDA, land grabbing, as the case may be. Very well, it will be very wrong as progressives if we see the high level of injustice that is currently occupying the economic space. Because you know, if for any socioeconomic sovereign nation or sovereign state like ours to exist, you must ensure that people who are legitimately, having legitimate rights to occupy economic lands, economic prospects, should be given the best form of encouragement to ensure that that society, continue to grow. If you agree with me, a venture, a business venture that a man, a son of one of us, who thought it wise to invest in his home, host community, in his aboriginal home, is currently facing intimidation. That person who was on weekly basis producing 10 gallons of oil, to the commodity market of Nigeria, 10 gallons of oil have been shut down due to the fact that people want to sell over his economic, cash crops. They want to invade his, acquired lands, as the case may be. But because we as civil society, because we as media advocates, because those of us who would always want to ensure that the society is not portrayed in a bad light, in the course of our advocacy over time, we have always seen reasons for us to always hear from both sides of the divide, particularly when a matter has been established. We did all our best to ensure that we got contacts of the Enogie today, and we also did our best to ensure that we got contact of comrade popularly known as No More Less, who was alleged yesterday in the course of our interview. And why we did that, going all out, is to also balance the reportage so that most people would know that what we stand for is to ensure that those tenets, those attitudes, those characters that does not promote economic prosperity or that does not promote decent way of life in our society is exposed in the open. So we have seen that on both sides of the divide, these two people have always approached civil approaches to resolving their differences. But on the part where the judgment has been given, one party is not comfortable with that judgment, and the party is approaching the court. And while they are still in court, they are not subjecting their modus operandi to respect the norms, to respect the proceedings, to respect the existence of our court, going out of court to actually take possession when the courts have not given such right amounts to contempt. And when we say contempt is when you disobey courts, when you disobey a process of any institutionalized or any process or orderly manner of doing things. That's what we call contempt. So this evening, because we want to hear on both sides, if you can remember yesterday, Pa Idahosa's son, who is the manager of the farm, did come out to say that he doesn't want any form of government agency that is supposed to be aiding him to shut their backs on him. That firstly, he has gotten all relevant rights to acquire the land he owns, that is statutory and known by law, and two, he has been lawful. And he also made the point that the land he owns, some persons have also laid claim in recent times saying that their mother owns land in that particular field where he bought, and he does not know, and he has never heard that those people's mother or parents came from such society. We all heard the whole expository statement. For those of you who did not, were privileged to watch yesterday's interview, please visit my last post for yesterday, and you will see what that live conversation was all about. So if you are joining us, please, the only way we can be able to eradicate certain norms that are drawing our economic fortunes backward is when we discuss about these issues. Social media is a platform that is there to ensure that we interact with ourselves. We discuss and talk about issues. We agree and disagree. We give room for history, for transmission of this information across board. In as much as you are watching this video, you also knowing the best form to adopt when you have issues, when you have land related disputes, without even consulting anybody. So the very first thing for you to note is that this man, his workers have been put out of job. Putting them out of job in the sense that you have people who ought to feed family from this livelihood. Their children, their wives will not get month salary because a group of persons feels that their activities that is lawful is a threat to their existence or is a threat to their own interests. So they have to come all out with force to invade. All of this we have heard from the horse's mouth, and because of the health challenges of Pa Solomon today, we could not stress him. Even yesterday I told you guys that we could not stress him. So today I was at his residence today, but unfortunately the situation was very deteriorating. But I pray God gives him the strength, because I saw him move to the hospital for treatments also. So one who is healthy is the one that talks about life and talks about the fortune of life. So we have to pray for Epa to get well soon. But while we do that, before we proceed further on this discussion, we would like to call in Comrade Osakbanwa, popularly known as No More Less. I think today I was able to get his number. Okay, so I have my talk phone.
5, 6, 3, 2.
So we're calling Comrade now. Excuse me. Hello, good evening, Comrade. Hello, good evening, Comrade, sir.
Good evening, sir. Who is on the line, sir?
Yeah, my name is Comrade Idahosa Emmanuel.
How are you?
I'm fine, Domo, sir. Domo, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Epa, as part of our advocacy, we are always advocating for a better society in Edo State. And of recent, we got information that somebody of your caliber, your name was mentioned in a situation that involved unlawful encroachment to land, particularly a land situated at Evbuoivoba community in Oredo local government along the popular BENIN Airport Road. And yesterday on our platform, the complainant, we did report that you in person is the one encroaching into his land. So we were on social media yesterday, and the conversation was that everybody who knows you were saying that we should call in our live broadcast for you to air your own view to balance the report.
On your broadcast, you already taking side on your broadcast, and I said I would not even like to talk to you, but I just decided to pick your call now because you were already taking side. First, to get from my own end, you were already saying all sorts of things. You were already saying all sorts of things. One, I'm not from a Evbuoivoba community. I only have the property in the Evbuoivoba community, which I bought from the community, and I have buildings inside that said property, over 10 something buildings. I know you are recording this. Listen very well now. I have over 30 buildings in my property in the Evbuoivoba. Yes. The person you were mentioning his name has issue with the community people. Not me.
Okay. Yes, but now we're getting to know your own side of the story. But when you said
my own side of story before taking side.
No, when you
that doesn't know nothing about it.
No, but when you say we took side, from what we spoke about, there are visible documents of.
Talking about document, have you seen my document? If you want me to talk to you, I talk to you. If you don't want me to talk to you, I want to go. Have you seen my document?
Exactly. You know the world we live in today is a global village, and we are saying today that we want to balance the report because everybody.
If balance report, you were supposed to wait exactly what you are doing now. That to listen to my own conversation. You never did so.
No, Epa,
concluding.
Hello.
The property belongs to so person. The property belongs to so person. No, that is not the way to balance story.
Yes, but sir, are you aware? Are you
I told you that we are already aware that somebody were using it.
No, when you say somebody is using me, I totally disagree.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you. You know me very well.
Very well, I know you very well.
You know me very well.
Which yes.
This property does not belong to me. I don't have any issue with anybody. The property I have there is building on that property. Even the person you work with, Tony Kabaka, knows my property in the Evbuoivoba community. The person you work with knows my property in the Evbuoivoba community. Because we have this for money story.
No, Epa, I didn't get you. I didn't get you very clear. We have to call Osapanwa because the allegations are very weighty. You see, when I say we try to hear balance on both sides, that is what you call investigative journalism. Of late, so many persons have spoken to me about balancing this reportage, and I think it's a wise one. Yes, we are waiting for Chief. I know he's a chief. He's my friend. We're at some point, having this political view of, the Edo opposition. Hello, Epa. Good evening, sir. He has still not picked. The call is not wanting to go through. Very, 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 very beautiful discussion we had this evening. I think EPAM also made two statements, or Osapawa also made two statements from what he said today. He said there are documents to his claims, and he also said that the claims that he has, he bought from the community. So I don't think that's also far different from what Pa Solomon said yesterday. Now, alleging me of taking sides, you don't expect me to see a man who has documents ranging from the fact that the lands he has, they've been issues, previously, and the issues were resolved. There's a document to that effect. There's a court judgment to that effect, and I have all of those informations visible to me. You don't expect me to disregard such information and believe in something different. Somebody that has a court judgment and not resolution on this matter, you don't expect me, as somebody who is civilized, as somebody who understands the norms and values of our society, to disobey such documents from constituted authority. Before I said so, we also verified that there were court judgments, and we also verified that there were suits going on in court. But very weighty this evening, Osapawa Rio just said that he has documents, if I've also bothered to see his documents. But the truth be said, because I know this is something that is to stop a norm, if that's the case, we also do that favor to call him again, to appeal to him that we also want to have his own live interview. Yes, it's very obvious he's not picking. It's very obvious he's not picking, and these are issues. But nevertheless, I'll also try to reach him also before the end of this broadcast. Maybe one or two issues have made him not to pick. But the truth be said, as young, Edo, enterprising and concerned youths, we believe there are certain norms. I could imagine somebody who has gone through the pains of planting palm nuts, economic crops, believing that those economic crops will serve his, economic engagements for a period of 30 years. Somebody comes in to demolish those sort of properties. So this evening, I know obviously Osapawa was supposed to be the one we're going to be discussing with today. So in all fairness, I'll be calling him again to also hear from him. But if you all heard very well, he made a very weighty allegation also tonight, and he made an allegation that said he knows who is sending me. He knows who is sending me, and I think that allegation would also need to prove itself in the course of this investigative broadcast. So all efforts to reach comrade Osapawa Rio proves abortive, and just like what my viewer here, one bio Humaru, this say that Rio says you are working for Tony Kabaka. Is that true? That's a very serious allegation, and owing to the fact that when everybody sees me with Tony, even the last time when we went to Abuja, we met ourselves in the airport, and he said, "Man, I'm flying on business class. I want you to fly with me. I love you, boy. I want you to fly with me. You're a brother. I love you." And he did upgrade my tickets for a business class, and I said, it will be a privilege. Let me see who are the big men that will be flying. Let me see if there will be any leader that will also want to fly on the flight. Those people using business class are the very last people. They just drive in VIP and they sit in and they fly. So, but very unfortunate that they were just maybe people, average Nigerians, were all on the flight, and we flew. And in Abuja, so we all met ourselves in court, and very well, I've been a friend of Tony for a very long time. During the days of Adams Ali Oshomole's government, if I would tell some of you that Tony Kabaka at some point in time had issues with us. When I mean us, Kola Edokpai, Mobude, civil society, as at the time when we were having a unified force. But when you say Tony Kabaka is the one sending me, does Tony Kabaka have a land in Evbuoivoba community? That is a question to ask. You have also said Tony Kabaka knows your property. I don't know if since I've been meeting we were together sometime last week, and I think we'll also be meeting at this live on stage of this our brother on the 25th. But I don't think when you say Tony sent me, I don't think you're very correct. And I think in the course of this discussion, these issues will be addressed. But because we are not biased here, we've already had the issues of this matter, even right from the community broadcast on EBS. Now we are also looking into the issue of calling Pa Solomon to speak. He was unfortunate he couldn't speak, so his son, that is the manager of his farm, had to speak for him and explain his own part, indicting our brother Osabawa Erio. Now we have heard from Osabawa Erio. Osabawa Erio is even alleging me also, alleging Tony Kabaka, alleging no, I think those we were the three people he alleged: myself, the Idahosas, and Tony Kabaka. Now that saying that he was the one who sent me. Now I'm not going to bother more on that this evening, even while I'm going to be trading my lines open. But I just want you all to put this caption on this discourse in your mind, so that as we unfold, because from the look of things, I take a point from where he said that I was supposed to hear from him. The truth be said, every human being on earth has a right to fair hearing. In a matter, if you are not being heard, if you are not being given the right to speak when others are speaking, it is like you are, in a joke. But because we ourselves, we want to do things that will create an impact in the society, we would also want to officially write Comrade Osabawa Erio to oblige us anytime tomorrow, anytime within the week, to speak to us on this subject issue, to explain to us and also show us documental evidence of what he has on that said property. All of this is to balance the report so that everybody who is hearing us, don't forget, now that we are also saying this, we are being alleged. So everybody must have to say his own part or two or three of this story, so we know all of this. So for someone to have heard that we are talking about the issue and we have not heard from him, that's to also tell you that the information is not strange to him. So what that implies is that we're also going to give him that opportunity to explain his own side of the story, so that we balance this reportage. But thus far, for those of you who have heard us, the part of Idahosa or Sabama's call tonight, I want to put my lines open. You can call us on WhatsApp, and you can also call us on direct call. The reason for this is because we want to carry everybody along, both the society, both the parties involved, and both our government institutions who we know are always watching us. So I just pinned my number. You will be doing me a very painful one if I just pin my number. If you're not sharing this broadcast, somebody who has invested on agro related activity from his own home community, if such a person is allowed oppression, if such a person is not given a right to speak for himself or herself and to enjoy that which he or she has invested her sweat on, her resources on, freely, haven't gotten judgment from courts, from palace, from constituted authorities, I think that amounts to illegality. So for us to clear this, our numbers are out there. For those of you who have followed the trend from 2 nights ago, from on Sunday morning when we came out to clear the air on what was going wrong about the Idahosa's oil palm plantation in Evbuoivoba community. As you all know, the Enogie was alleged. We also get on the part of the Enogie. But owing to the fact that there are documents previously to have resolved the issues bordering on the Enogie and the said parcel of land and Idahosa, I don't think that is more of an issue. But for the right of fair hearing, we will also go to the community to hear from these persons, so that everybody knows what is going on and know what role or what rights and what limitations and what wrongs everybody or any person involved or any party involved is doing or have done or is intending to do. So our lines are open. If you want to call in, the number remains 08137928026. Feel free, you can call us on WhatsApp. You can call us on direct call. You can call us on direct call also to make your contributions as the case may be. Somebody is saying one friend Osaigbovo Gonware is saying that I should call him. Mr. Fred, your lines are open. Your lines are open. Why we're even giving you both the WhatsApp numbers to call in is basically because we want everybody to contribute. So if you don't have call card, don't say because of call card you cannot call in. Yes, our first caller for today. Hello, good evening, caller. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, I'm calling from Jenny.
You're calling from where?
Jenny.
Okay, my brother, good evening. Your name and your contributions.
Okay, my name is Osaigbovo Charles.
Osaigbovo Charles. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. What I want to say, as the matter as it is now, we have been following on this matter on this issue. My question is, does the first document of the first complainant, does he have CFO for the property?
Sorry, sir. Come again. I didn't get you.
Your first complainant, the man that claims the owner of the land, does he have CFO for the land?
For now, I cannot say yes or no because I have not cited it. But basically,
okay, that is one on one side, and that is on one side. And on the other way of Mr. Mara and you, for his speech from what we have heard from him, just this evening, the little bit we have from him, very right. I think you look for a way to tender this apology to you, to make sure you get to you and hear it so far of this statement.
When you say apologies,
hello?
When you say apologies, my brother,
Yeah.
I have not personally alleged Osabanwa Rio. I myself, hello. Yes, he is the one alleging me. He said I would have heard his own side of the story. And just yesterday, his name was mentioned. Just yesterday, his name was mentioned. Have you seen me after the yesterday's broadcast? Attack Osabanwa or allege him? So when you say apologies, his name was mentioned on my platform. Hold on, please. Let's not send the wrong signal out there. His name was mentioned by the owner of the farm.
If there's any way you can talk to him politely.
Of course, I would definitely get to. You heard me in the platform say.
You secondly, try and look for a way to get the Enogie song called Texas, hear from their own house, take their own statement.
Okay.
Before putting case on air, so that you not be alleged or accused of being one side, you are siding this other side, or you are siding this other person. Just like the one that is talking.
Exactly.
You are taking side of the first complainant. So try to reach the Enogie, check their documents, verify everything, collect their statements. If it is possible, you can bring them on there. And then talk to Sakama. If it is possible, you can bring them on there. Here is no
you have just 30 seconds.
Verify the documents you can before bringing the matter on them, so that everything will be clear for you to express to the whole world that this is what is going on and this is the right thing now of the land. So that is my own project.
Thank you, my brother. It's a nice one. We appreciate your contribution at this end.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sorry if you're calling on WhatsApp. I believe you're following us. I cannot actually take WhatsApp call and take direct line calls. So we have over 4 missed calls. So if you want to reach me on WhatsApp, if you have my other numbers, please don't call. Call the numbers given to you directly on WhatsApp. Use those 2 numbers to reach me, please, if you want to talk to me and you want to make your contributions. So the truth be said, our brother who just called in from Germany made a whole lot of points, and your points are saying issues about hearing from the Enogie, hearing from Osabanwa Rio, hearing from Enogie's son to Kester. I agree with you totally.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
I am calling from Germany. I want to contribute concerning the farm, the agricultural land. I want to ask a question. Is this case before the law courts?
Of course, if you are following the broadcast, if you are following us yesterday, if you listened attentively to the broadcast, you would hear Mr. Charles Idahosa saying that they have already gotten a judgment from court restraining anybody from the Enogie and the community from encroaching into their land in 2013. He said so, and in the course of my broadcast, I also read out the suit number in court, and I also flashed the document. So except you were not listening.
Sir, I sorry to ask the question again. Not again, sorry. Is it matter before the a state high court or a court of appeal since 2013? Talking about how many years ago? About 7
No,
years.
there's no matter. There's no matter before any court. From the information I gathered,
there is a judgment. There is no appeal for the judgment.
Nobody appealed the judgment. From the information I gathered.
And started destroying the crops and say that he has the document to the land. Who did that?
I think you would have to go back and watch previous broadcasts. But for the sake of this discussion, because you're the only one calling, Osabanware Eriyo has been alleged yesterday. He was alleged to be the one to have mobilized people down there. He is saying that he owns a property there and there are over 30 buildings. You heard him today in the course of our conversation that he has over 30 buildings there. I have not been there, but the information of what has been going on is on my doorstep. So we are all investigating. So if you are putting those questions to me, it's as if you are asking me as if I know it all. No.
Sorry. The last question I want to put before I know Nigeria is a law country. It's a law country, but people violating the law doesn't mean the law doesn't apply. In this type of case, why can't the man go to court again?
They are my brother, please, they are already in court. That's why I say try to watch previous antecedents so you follow up the matter and get the real facts. What we are doing here is to bring out facts before the general public. So if you heard yesterday also, you hear that they said they were already in court.
The governor of Edo State told us that they have something is in government house. People are anything like land ownership, people land dispute that they have set up a committee to be in charge of this type of case. Have this man also approached this office?
For the now, I'm not in a position to answer this question because I'm not the man. But what we are discussing here is public related matter. So if you are asking me the approaches he has taken, we are also wanting to know what is going on. So if you are asking me directly, it's as if I'm not speaking for the man, and I am only here to ensure that the public and the society is well informed of this antecedent. So I cannot speak for any party here. Just this evening I've been alleged to have taken side. So I should not be seen to be talking for anybody. Everybody will have to talk for themselves. Thank you. So very well, if you're calling to make your contributions from what you have heard. We are all wanting to ensure that Edo State remains a better place. For me, I don't think the best we can do is to begin to ask questions as if we are not listening to what we are saying or we are not talking to ourselves. If a caller comes in and begins to interview me as if I'm the owner of the land, then I believe that caller has not been following the trend. So if you really want to know how some of these disputes are resolved, in case of next time you don't find yourself in such, you find yourself in such shoes, you should quickly know what to do. Because at times like this, when issues like this occur, people take advantage. But those days when we were in school, when we were doing things about risk management, we were made to understand that people make money when there's crisis. There are people that their only means of livelihood is only when there's crisis. They make fortunes out of it. They know how to manage it. They are good at that. We have another caller calling us on direct call. Hello, good evening. Yes, I would advise you before putting you on speakerphone to please move away from the device you are watching. Please move away from the device you are watching. Hello, go ahead. Yes, hello. Yeah, hello. Hold on, please. Madam, please, could you stay on the line?
I'm calling from the I have to commend your effort. You are doing a very good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
Your name, please.
My name is Harry.
Your name is what?
Not Terry.
Your name is Terry.
Yeah, Harry.
Okay, Harry, go ahead. What's your contribution?
Yes, I just want to commend the effort of the Malaco. He's doing a very great job. He's speaking for the masses, for the people. And I just want to pray for him and God will bless him.
Amen.
And the way the Benin people are just selling land. Everything about those states is about land, courtesy, fighting, and any other rubbish thing. If a man who is dying, I don't know people should let Benin rest. This is getting too much. Thank you very much, man. God will bless you and protect you.
Amen. God bless you. Thanks for your contribution. Thank you. Yes, the truth be said, we all want a better society. It is not until when you are in government, it is not until when you are a public officer that you can make an impact in which and every way. That is why we have rights to express ourselves. So thus far, we had a lady that was calling in on WhatsApp. I had to end the call because you were staying close to your device. I know you want to hear yourself while you are talking, but that will definitely affect what others will be hearing. It's not just the both of us that are talking to ourselves. Everybody involved here is actually speaking to ourselves. So if you call in and people cannot hear what you are saying, it's not the best. So madam, if you are the one calling on WhatsApp, you're obliged to call him back. So when I hear the matter as it be, me too, they don't even oblige me. So as we do and they go, we go to ask ourselves this question. Yes, the caller is calling back. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. See, I want to ask you. I've taken you off speakerphone. Nobody is hearing you. The thing here is this: if you want to talk, you have to step away from the device you are watching me on. If not, it will be re-echoing on the broadcast. So I'm going to return you back on speakerphone. This is a WhatsApp caller, please. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, madam. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Phyllis Idahosa. I'm calling from the UK.
Okay, your name is Phyllis Idahosa.
I'm the daughter of Mr. Idahosa.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely. So what do you have to say now that we're talking? Your father's discussion is your father's predicament is now a subject of public discourse. What's your contribution?
I've missed part of this very live video, so I don't really know what has been said now. But my own contribution is that my parents. Let me just tell you a little bit about my parents, because I believe nothing has really been said about them in this. My dad and mom, they schooled in the UK. They had us in the UK apart from my elder brother, and then my parents were now headhunted and went back to Nigeria. So we moved to Nigeria. So I did some of my schooling in Nigeria. I attended Enogie College. My brother attended Edo College. My parents were civil servants. My dad was a permanent secretary in health management board. He worked there for years before he was retired by lucky by Enogie Aigbe. Before then, the farming was a hobby for them. So we used to go on Saturday to do farming. While we're going to do our farm, although it was mostly my brothers, once in a while I would go with them. While we were doing our farming, all these people that you see there, they sit in their veranda and they were laughing at us. Oh, these are people that went to the UK. Look at them doing farming. So that was at the beginning. The farming grew, and then when my parents retired, they decided to take it on full time. And I think they bought some more land. They planted the palm fruit. And then when it matured now, it's now bringing a lot of money, then you see the trouble all these people now started saying they've got land. My senior brother knows more about the documents, which you have read in your statement. In your first or second live interview, you showed all those documents. Yeah. When the trouble started, they were going to the court, to the palace and everything. Most of that caused a lot of stress for my mom. My mom died in 2014, which was a big blow to the family because of all the stress. You understand? My dad is still mourning my mom. Everything was settled in the palace and the high court. You read those papers. Nobody can trespass those lands. My dad, when he bought that land, bought a car for the Enogie. Spent a lot of money settling him. Most of these people that are fighting for this land were in the initial contract of buying those lands. They kept extorting my dad for money. You understand? So they felt could oppress him for more money. They kept going and going and going. It was when my dad now stopped and said, "Come, enough is enough." They decided to start fighting him for the land which he had already paid for. So all of a sudden now, this man is coming from nowhere, whatever his name is, to say that he owns the land. You understand? Yes. Where has he been since all this time? Where was he when they started? And if I can also mention, me and my brothers, we've invested so much money in this land. So what happened is, I started the building because my dad, out of those palms, he gave us some land. He gave his children, his grandchildren. So I said, okay, instead of me going to invest somewhere else, let me start my village. I don't really like city life. I like staying in the village. I like fresh air, So I started putting up a small structure in the village there. If you go there, you will see the uncompleted building there. When I started that building, that's when most of the trouble started, so I couldn't complete it. I had to go and invest in Lagos and invest in some other part of Benin because I had to leave the village. We were planning to do a lot of things in the village there. So because of all the problem we're getting and all the stress, we left it. But when my mom died, I just swore that I'm never going to step that place again. You understand? But my senior brother continued the fight. He put in his money, he put in all his effort and everything, and they're trying to frustrate him. You see, you saw my senior brother there. He's just, I would say, how do you describe it? He's not even himself. Look at the way he looks, so stressed out and everything. He's fighting all these people because these people have got power. They have the police and the government in their pocket. So we are trying to do things the right way. I mean, we could, my brother could go and get thugs and start fighting, but it will lead to bloodshed. There was even during the first time when they were fighting, one of our workers on the farm, they macheted him. Even we ended up losing one of our workers on that farm. Every time they're always harassing our workers. So I think this time they decided to do it big and see. I think at the end of the day, all they want is a reaction. They want to see how far they will go, a reaction. My dad is stressed out now. Even if you speak to him on the phone, I've just finished speaking to him this evening. You know, he's worried. He's worried about the family. He's worried about my brother. You understand? He's still mourning my mom. You understand? Because they were life partners. You know, they did things together. So to come and add this more stress to our family now, you know, it is so frustrating. I've not been able to sleep for days now because I'm worried about my senior brother, seeing him there fighting alone. It seems as if there's no justice. There's no justice. Then somebody comes from nowhere to say you own the land that we've been farming on for more than 20 years. When we started farming on this land, where were you? Why didn't you say that this land was for you? I don't really know what more I can say. I don't really know what more I can say, but these people are just oppressing our family.
All right. Thank you, madam. That's why we're discussing this issue. Because I think you guys are saying you are being oppressed. And from the look of things, I can see a clear case of oppression. But just like what we are saying, these are the issues that we have always preached against, and even the monarch. And I think thus far, the monarch, from what I've seen, you know, even in 2010, 2013, they've also come out to do what is expected of them.
He judged the case. He even suspended the Enogie. You know what? One thing, one funny thing. Even after he suspended the Enogie, when everything was judged, my dad went and begged for the Enogie to be reinstated. My dad begged, pleaded on behalf of that it should be reinstated. My dad was even part of. You can go and ask. You can go and ask. My dad even begged so that there can be peace.
Okay.
And he came back now. He's starting all over again. All over again, you know. The oil that this Enogie, the oil that he uses in his house for years is from this plantation, because my dad is a very generous man. Even when he used to go to the farm, when he brings his produce, he shares it for all of them. Even the people on our street, he shares it for all of them. He shares it for all of them. But one thing I notice in Benin is that it seems as if you do good, people punish you. They don't like progress. Look at Benin, the oldest city in Nigeria is still looking backward. Why is this? Why is this? Because people are oppressed, the indigenous are oppressed, and they don't get justice. This is something that has been judged in the palace. This is something that has been judged in the High Court. How can somebody, that means he is above the law. He is above the law. Now take the law into his hands and damage things that have been growing for 20 years. These are people's livelihoods. The workers, some of the workers there have been there for 15 years. They've got their wife and their family that we have to pay them. That is their livelihood. And nobody's doing anything about this. This has been happening. This happened since the 8th of January.
Yeah, madam, yes.
Nothing has, even the police they are too scared of even arresting. Hello?
I can hear you, madam. But I would just want to tell you. Hello, madam, can you hear me?
Okay.
I would just want to tell you some few words.
I can hear you.
The reason why we're talking tonight is because we want to change the narrative. We want things to work for good. We don't want oppression in our community. We want a better Edo state. That's what we're talking here. So the truth is that we've also called in the person who has been alleged by your brother yesterday, and he is also saying he wants to air his own side of the story. But however, I know how it feels when you see your wealth of investment and efforts being thrown into destruction, all because of selfish ends. I know how it feels. So I just want to plead with you. You guys should also try and ensure your father is strong, because in life challenges are always there, and the more we try to live and get through them, that's what makes us stronger. If justice is in Edo State, if justice, hold on, madam, hold on, madam, please, hold on, please. if justice exists in Edo State and you people are on the path on your lawful engagement, I can assure you that you will get justice. And whoever is doing you wrong, at the end of the day, will be made to face the wrath of the law. I can assure you of that. That is why we are discussing. Government itself, they are listening to what we're saying here. We're not just talking.
We're actually. What about action? It's not about talk. It's action.
Yes, there's a matter before the court. There's a matter before the court. I'm also aware that relevant petitions have been put up to the palace, and we on our own part as civil society, we're also doing same. But in the course of taking a position on this matter, we're going to ensure we hear from all sides to balance the report. And just this evening, for the fact that I came out to speak up on this, I've been alleged of taking side with you. So if I don't give those people the right to fair hearing and allow every member of the society who is following up to understand what is really transpiring, then we're not doing ourselves any good. I cannot just sit at this end and say, no, I'm taking sides. No, I must give everybody right to fair hearing, madam.
It's okay to take sides. You've got to look at the facts. Don't take any sides. Look at the facts. You've got to look at the facts.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. Hello, good evening.
So anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much for this conversation. It's nice having you here. And I expect that one message I want to leave you with is that this matter is going to set a pace for other issues in Edo State. I can assure you of that. We're just starting up. People think it's just a mere discussion. No. I have seen someone with also a very large-scale banga farm in Olobo. The person also complained of oppression. Getting into the same issue to hear from both sides and submit, I was also alleged. But on this part, I am going to make sure that on every discussion with every side, it is done on the social media. It is not a discussion that is done before. No, we talk on the media. So I can assure you, you're going to get justice. Your father is going to get justice. If he has acquired his land lawfully, he will get justice. And those culprits will be made to face the law once for eternity this time around.
No, that place is the hard work of my dad and my mom. And my mom, her death is not going to be in vain. All her hard work. One outsider is not just going to come and collect it just like that. That's not going to happen.
All right. Thank you, madam. I appreciate your conversation.
Okay.
So that's it, you've heard. So if you're watching us, you would also hear that the families of these people are also watching. So this tells you that what we are speaking is not a lie. And the truth be said, the reason why these things are made to live with us the way it is that we don't discuss about our problems. We take sentiments into discussing our issues. So on this part, I'm going to be neutral. I am going to be neutral 100%. I am going to be neutral. I repeat it again. This Pa Solomon Idahosa, I've not seen him, but I've been to his residence to hear from him, and I think he's the victim here, and his voice needs to be heard. He explains what's the issue. Those people who are alleged will have to respond. That is how investigative journalism is being carried out anywhere in the world. So for Sabawa Eriyo to just say that I'm taking side, he doesn't expect me to hear somebody who is saying that his land will be taken and tell the person to go and sit down. I must tell the person that the person should keep hope alive, and what he's fighting for he will definitely get. So if you are expecting the fact that Emmanuel Bogun will just come out and begin to say, oh no, I wouldn't do that. I'm going to ensure that I support what is right at every given instance. So if you are joining us, the number to call in still remains 081-3792-8026. We have just 20 minutes to remain on this broadcast, and we call it a day. Do not forget, while we are waiting for public's contribution, C of O in Edo State is the only document to finalize land ownership in Edo State. Once you have that, issues of this unscrupulous elements taking over and encroaching into lands would not arise. And if the need be, anybody who invests on the land is investing for you. So these are the issues and these are the reasons why some of us are saying you should get your C of O. To the extent this evening, we reduced the cost of our surveys by over 25 to 30% to give those persons who are willing to patronize us cheaper surveys, valid lodged government surveys at a much cheaper rate, so that we encourage them. Because the truth be said, C of O is 50,000, but you also have to spend money to get your tax clearance, get your development levy and also get your survey. So if you gather those amounts put together, it's somehow outrageous, but you're not paying the cost of survey to government. What you're paying to government is the tax clearance that ordinarily everybody ought to have if we're not having some economic misfortune. Everybody who is working is supposed to have a tax clearance at the end of the year, or per quarterly, as the case may be. So this is the issues we're talking about. Now, those your surveys you want to do in any part of Edo State, whether it's Akuku Edo, whether it's Onwa, whether it's... For this week, we're going to collect those prices from you. But if the job exceeds this week, sorry, we're going to charge you at an official rate. So if you know you want to get your surveys done, feel free to use this window that has been thrown open. If you go to my wall, you'll see that we let the world know the prices in which we are giving out surveys now. And that is what I'll be speaking to you about now, as the case may be. For those of you who want to do your surveys for a 50 by 100 size of land, it's going to cost you 70,000. For those of you who have lands that want to do survey for 100 by 100, it's going to cost you 95,000 if you're going to patronize us. For those of you who want to do surveys on lands measuring 100 by 200, it's going to cost you 110,000 for this week. So if you want to patronize us, feel free to call our numbers after this broadcast, or better still, leave us with a voice note on WhatsApp. We're going to write you and give you the requirements and needed information that we need to guide you to ensure you attain your C of O from government. So having waited for contributions from outside, we say we have just 20 minutes to go. We'll just seize this opportunity to talk about C of O.
Star.
So please ensure you oblige us the opportunity to address ourselves on this matter. But if you want to call in to contribute on previous issues, you are very free of discourse. You know, today we're discussing about Idahosa and their issue, but I'm just trying to use this opportunity to advertise my C of O jobs. So remember, if you want to patronize us on C of O, the number to call still remains 08033641993. Leave us with your WhatsApp message. If you go to my wall, you will see that the links to get my number are there. So I'm going to publish it again, where you have my number, my WhatsApp number to call. I'm going to make it a comment on this broadcast now. So please, and please, and please, and please, feel free to ensure. But if you want to call in to contribute on previous issues, you are very free. So I just pasted the link where you see the broadcast. So that's it. So once again, my ever progressive Edo people, we're not having anybody calling in. So we're not going to wait. Although we promised that this broadcast was to be done much earlier, but because of engagements, we could not contribute further. We could not, hold the broadcast. Please, if you have called in before, hello, good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, sir. We watched the daughter of the man speaking just now, and we appreciate this information, and we in the diaspora, we are so very happy, and we are now, our government, we see what is going on in the state. So for my own advice to the family of this family who are being oppressed, this is an oppression, I think I will advise them to write a letter to the governor. I don't know how that would be the best option. They have to address the letter to the governor and explain all this harassment, threat to life, because the governor is the chief security officer of the state, and these are the functions of the governor, is protection of life and property. Now that these people feel they are above the law, they control, they feel so, not that they are above. I so much believe in the rule of law, and I believe in government. I believe our governor is educated. I'm not trying to say he's the best. I will advise this woman. I don't know if there is a way I can reach her. I will advise this woman to give me her details, write it, and I will personally submit it to His Excellency, Governor Godwin Obaseki. I can help this woman. I promise this woman within a month or 2 weeks, this woman will have a reply from His Excellency.
All right. There's no problem. I've heard you, and I believe she have heard you. So since you're watching, just try to make a comment on my platform that you are the one that say you want. Hello.
I will advise to give this woman the number. This woman, I want to really know if there is a rule of law. If the rule of law exists in that state, I want to use this woman to know, because we know why we voted our governor is to protect us and to protect our property and to make the state a happy place to live. So please, in the name of God, give me the information of those people. They should write a letter, explain all those intimidation, harassment by this Enogie, and they should state it, the name of the Enogie, the community, those Rio, and the way their activities have to be documented. Please, in the name of God, give me this information. I will personally put it before His Excellency, and he will wait for the result. Let him go there and be harassing people. We want to know whether he is above the law. If
all right.
He law, we know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, you see, that's the importance of social media. People will call in, they will want to know their strength, and as I told you earlier, people who are close to government are also watching. Government themselves are also watching. So please, if you know you heard what the caller just contributed, if you want to talk to him further, you can actually follow him. I told him to make a post indicating that he was the one that just called to say he can assist, and thereafter, if you're interested, you can also reach out to him. But we're very sure that all sides on this matter is going to be heard. And to cut the long story short for today's broadcast, by tomorrow at any point in time, expect an interview between me and Osapanwa Erio. He's somebody I know very well, and I never hesitated to say Sam while we were discussing yesterday with Charles Idahosa yesterday. So you would have to be focused tomorrow to join us. We're going to come out at any time when we have been able to reach out to Osapanwa Erio so that we can have his own side of the story heard. Once again, I remain another person and your Snowball Right activist. let's call it a day for today. And but please, we want to plead, before you leave, please ensure you share this broadcast. And if you're intending to do your survey, you're not patronizing me, it's not helpful. We're also discussing societal ills and also rendering a public resolution to resolving such matters. So I haven't been here to create this platform for you. On behalf of myself and our media crew, I want to say a big thank you for all the broadcasts for today. It's about time for us to go. So if you're out there and you have not shared our broadcast for today, we're over 80 watching. If you have not shared the broadcast for today, please ensure you do the same. I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist, comrade Idahosa Emmanuel. Have a wonderful day. Call us for your service and your CFO. God bless you.
Now we don't hear from Enogie Aigbe and the callers we calling. If you get anything where you go like join with it they don't talk today for this video, you fit put your own for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan Enogie YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for dey current with all the things where they happen for Edo State. So make I leave you with this video, make you help us share them. Thank you for watching Dan Enogie YouTube.